On today's episode of Reality Check with Klimcak and Klimcak, we talk about the free agent frenzy around the NFL and the Chicago Bears' latest moves. We also preview and predict the best matchups in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And as always, we go off the rails. Reality Check with Klimcak and Klimcak starts now. Welcome in, everybody. Ryan Klimczak here, alongside Jake Klimczak over there. We have a very interesting show to get to today. And Jake, it is a free agent frenzy out there in the National Football League. None of the deals official as of today. It's against the rules. A lot of verbal agreements, though, among teams.
The official period starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
right?
yes, the 14th.
Around 3 o'clock, right?
3 o'clock, yeah, Central. 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. So a lot of moves that you're seeing being made today are not final until the contracts are official tomorrow. And I was reading somewhere that it has happened before where these players have verbally agreed to sign a contract and then they've backed away and decided to go somewhere else. Frank Gore was the one most notably to do it a couple years ago when deciding that he wanted to be an Indianapolis Colt. It is very rare. Most of these deals appear to be done in just the official aspect of it and the official word from the team we will get tomorrow. But it looks like a lot of these deals will be done and will go through. So, Jake, with that being said, let's start with the Chicago Bears. This morning, waking up to some fantastic news if you're a Bears fan like us. The Chicago Bears went out and they got Allen Robinson and signed him to a 4-year, $42 million deal? Or 3-year, $42 million deal. I'm starting to get them mixed up. They've made so many deals today that it is easy to get them mixed up. But yeah, 3 years, $42 million. I think 24 guaranteed. I'm gonna pull up the contract right now. But the Bears solving their wide receiving issues really through free agency, it looks like. We talked about this and argued about this several times. And it looks about if the Bears should draft a receiver, Kelvin Ridley with that 8th overall pick. But it looks like they're not even going to have to really even attack the wide receiver position in the draft because they've signed or agreed to sign and expected to sign 3 wide receivers tomorrow. Allen Robinson, Trey Burton, not a wide receiver, tight end, I should say, even though he plays like a wide receiver. I'll get to that in a second. And then Taylor Gabriel, the most recent news here that came within the last hour or so. So what I'm thinking is the Bears so far and Ryan Pace, they've done a really good job at attacking their needs so far on offense. What do you think?
I think they've knocked it out of the park so far, but as you could tell, you're not going to win a division or conference in late March or mid-March. It's just not going to happen. So while these moves are really intriguing and they're a good step for the Bears, they still do have a lot of needs on their roster.
Oh, no doubt.
They have made some nice moves today, though, to make that offense more plausible in that division and in that conference. So it's exciting how they were able to fix the wide receiver position without having to go to the draft and use that 8th pick on a wide receiver. Now you look at the position that the Bears are in and you're thinking, I think that they might take a defensive player with that 8th pick because there are holes on defense now. There's probably more holes on defense right now, the way the roster is constructed, rather than there are holes on offense.
That deal was for 3 years, $42 million, so we were right on that, with roughly $25 million guaranteed, according to Ian Rappaport. But yeah, you're right. There are going to be problems on defense, and there's still a lot of holes in this team. Bears fans have every reason to get excited. I'm excited about all these moves that we've seen being made so far here today and in this free agency season, really. but they still do have a long way to go. This is only the beginning. This is a really good start. And I think that if they can keep this momentum in the offseason up, hopefully it trickles into the draft. But you got to like each move. The only thing is Allen Robinson. There's a lot of questions. You know, he only played like 3 snaps, I think it was, this last season here with Jacksonville because of the ACL injury. Do you worry about that at all?
I think that they've done their homework on him. I think that he probably was the best free agent wide receiver available. Maybe he's probably slightly ahead of Sammy Watkins because Watkins has an injury history too, and just a couple of years where he was unproductive. But I think Allen Robinson, I think his best years are ahead of him, and I think that's why it was a good move for the Bears. And you look at his age, too.
24,
Ryan, the guy is only 24. That's Calvin Ridley's age, and to put things into perspective.
Yeah, it's not too often, Jake, where you see wide receivers, really any player in general, hit free agency at the age of 24. That's very rare to see. So the age is definitely an upside thing, and it's a very player-friendly deal. Robinson and his agent have to be thrilled with this because it's 3 years, $42 million, and then you have the $25 million guaranteed. But he's gonna hit free agency when he's only 27 years old in a couple years.
You hit the nail on the head, Ryan. He's gonna hit free agency right in his wheelhouse. So if he puts together a nice 3 years, even better than the first couple years we saw him in Jacksonville. Oh man, that guy's gonna get a payout come his next trip around in free agency. So that's a good position for the player to be in. And this is just a team. It probably does slightly lean towards a more player friendly contract. But you look at the way the Bears handed out the money; they had money to spend. So it doesn't seem like it's that bad of a financial burden on the Bears right now.
Yeah, the Bears have probably up there in terms of cap space to go and make deals like this. So it's really not a shock to see Ryan Pace being as aggressive as he is. The only question, like I said, the ACL, I'm going to be honest, that is something I worry a little bit about. The Bears, I don't know what it is, but whenever players put on the Bears uniform, there's just something about it where they just start getting hurt. You know, and we saw injury issues last year with the Bears. I also worry about the fact that Marcus Lee, or is it Marquise? Marquise. See, I get it mixed up. I get it mixed up sometimes.
The Bear with the Jaguars.
Yeah,
right?
he just re-signed with that. Now, do you think it was a price thing for the Jaguars to decide Lee? Because pretty much they chose Lee over Robinson.
Yeah.
They chose Lee over Robinson. So does that worry you a little bit? Or do you think that a lot of that is just because of the money, the pure money of the contracts that the Bears were able to offer a little bit more because they have a little bit more cap space than the Jaguars did? Because that's something to definitely worry about.
That's a good thing to bring to attention, Ryan. I mean, you go back to the beginning of the year with Jacksonville. Didn't Robinson make some comment about Blake Bortles too?
And that's what I'm saying. Everybody says that this guy has a squeaky clean reputation, and that's not a big thing. But I do want to talk about that too. He was the one in the preseason who made comments about his quarterback, Blake Bortles, right? Was he the one? There was video of it in training camp where he was visibly upset that Bortles was sort of unable to find him in passing the ball. I believe that was Allen Robinson. So it's not like Robinson doesn't have, a squeaky clean reputation in terms of being the best teammate, if you want to call it. But he did have the choice to sign here. So he sees something in Mitchell Trubisky. So you have to be optimistic about that. But
all these guys do that are signing here. They see something in the Bears that maybe the rest of the league doesn't yet. But it's promising if you're a Bears fan, and it's exciting. It's definitely a step in the right direction after last year.
And like we said, it's only a start. They have to keep this momentum up.